蔡英文阁下莅临会场。
Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming President of the Republic of China Taiwan, Tsai Ing-wen.
各位使节、代表、各位贵宾、各位女士、先生，欢迎大家今晚莅临外交部113年新春联欢晚会。
Excellencies, ambassadors, honorable representatives, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. Welcome to the 2024 MOFA Spring Banquet.
首先，让我们热烈欢迎今晚晚会的主人，外交部吴钊燮部长致辞。
I would first like to invite our host, the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Zhao Xie, to say a few words.
Madam President Tsai Ing-wen, Mr. Premier C.J. Cheng, Secretary General Li to the President, Secretary General Hu of the National Security Council, Ambassador Andrea Goldman of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, who is also the Dean of the Diplomatic Corps, Excellency Ambassadors and Honorable Representatives, Senior Advisors to the President, Ministers, senior officials, and members of the Parliament, distinguished guests, friends, and colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, good evening and happy Year of the Dragon. It is my great pleasure. It is my great pleasure to welcome you all to the 2024 Spring Banquet. I suppose you have already noticed the theme of the banquet this year. Magical Gala. This is because the acronym of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, MOFA, sounds like magic in Mandarin, MOFA. And I'm tempted to call myself Joseph Dumbledore or Professor Wu tonight to go with the theme. Well, I know there's a time and place for teaching, lecture, sorcerer, or even witchcraft. But tonight, it is for me to express my deep appreciation. Looking back at 2023, international conflicts pose new challenges to the world, and Taiwan itself is in no shortage of challenges. I would like to thank all of the ambassadors and representatives for working with my government to navigate through the turbulences. We in Taiwan can enjoy economic prosperity, social safety, freedom, and democratic way of life because you all worked closely with us. The members of the diplomatic community in Taiwan have served as a key bridge connecting Taiwan to the world. Your efforts have helped this country to be a critical force in a post-pandemic international order and a major player in the restructuring of the global supply chains. In challenging times, we prove to be indispensable partners to each other, and I want to thank you all for that. I would also like to thank you for supporting our democracy and facilitating overwhelming congratulatory messages following our successful national elections in January. We are prouder than ever to have completed the elections despite tremendous interferences by vicious foreign actors. There will be more than 40 democratic elections in the world this year. Taiwan will be happy to share its experiences with interested friends on how to deal with election interferences. But let me tell you frankly, it is not a pleasant lesson to be told who to vote for by an authoritarian regime with no democratic election itself whatsoever. But ladies and gentlemen, the people of Taiwan have pulled it through and democracy has prevailed again. I also want to thank you for the support at a time when Taiwan is under increasing military, economic, diplomatic, and hybrid coercion. Now the international community is set on a consensus that peace and stability over the Taiwan Strait is very important and indispensable to global security and prosperity. Democracies everywhere are also making it loud and clear that we should maintain the status quo across the Taiwan Strait and oppose any unilateral change to it, especially by force or coercion. The voice of support is unequivocal and is much appreciated by the people of Taiwan. The responsibility on the shoulder of MOFA is quite heavy, but it is often underappreciated, especially in our competitive party politics. I often say that this is perhaps the most difficult foreign minister job in the world. Some good American friends even joke with me why the president hates me so much to make me the foreign minister and for so long. But it is very rewarding to hear the international community or see international media coverage that Taiwan is supported and is held as shining beacon or a force of good. It is also very touching that we have waves of foreign visitors who just want to come and show support. And as a Minister of Foreign Affairs, I'm immensely proud and very thankful. One person here tonight that I would like to express my special appreciation to is, of course, President Tsai. Her steady hands have steered the course of the country in the last 8 years. Her record is unbeatable in every regard, ranging from military reform, COVID measures, civil liberty, gender and marriage equality, economic growth, stock market performances, national competitiveness, democratic resilience to international acknowledgement and appreciation. President Tsai undoubtedly is the best president my country can ever ask for, and I'm sure you will agree with me on this. I can tell you will agree with me on this. Just like many who have come to Taiwan and registered their appreciation to her for being a great leader of the world. And to me and my colleagues in MOFA, it is President Tsai who has guided us through all the international spotlight. We in MOFA can never thank you enough, Madam President. And I hate to say it, these will be her last attendance to the spring banquet as the incumbent president. And now I would like to invite all of the participants tonight to give our president a big round of applause to thank her for being an outstanding and extraordinary world leader. Thank you, President. And tomorrow is the International Women's Day. And I would like to take this opportunity to wish the female participants tonight and also the female colleagues of mine in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and also in the government a happy Women's Day. And thank you all. Please enjoy the magical gala, the banquet, and performances. Thank you.
谢谢部长，请部长回座。
Thank you, Minister Wu.
接下来，我们欢迎驻台外交使节团团长郑文森及格瑞纳丁国安所大使致辞。
Next, we would like to invite Her Excellency Andrea Bowman, Ambassador of St. Vincent and the Grenadines and Dean of the Diplomatic Corps, to deliver her remarks.
Your Excellency, President Tsai Ing-wen, Your Excellency, Dr. Shen James Shen, Your Excellency, Dr. Joseph Wu, Your Excellencies of the Office of the President and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, distinguished ministers and elected representatives of the government of Taiwan, my fellow ambassadors and other members of the diplomatic corps and representative offices, distinguished guests and members of the media, warm spring greetings to you all on this cold evening. This evening, I will preface my remarks with an anecdote. A few years ago, a Caribbean country which is not an ally of Taiwan's experienced a devastating natural disaster. At that time, another Caribbean country, which is a diplomatic ally of Taiwan's, appealed to MOFOR Taiwan for disaster relief and assistance to be extended to this Caribbean country, which is allied to Taiwan's hegemonic neighbor. MOFOR Taiwan acceded to this request and extended generous assistance to the disaster-ravaged Caribbean country. A few months later, the same Caribbean country, which had received the assistance from MOFOR Taiwan, appealed to its hegemonic diplomatic ally for assistance for another Caribbean country, which was now experiencing a natural disaster. This latest victim of disaster is an ally of Taiwan, and our hegemonic neighbor refused to extend the requested disaster relief. In a time of basic humanitarian need, an act of basic humanity was not reciprocated. Ladies and gentlemen, the act of humanity demonstrated by MOFOR Taiwan undergirds the essence of this arm of the Taiwanese government, and if for no other reason, I would like us all to please give MOFOR Taiwan a round of applause. At last year's spring banquet, I had emphasized the importance of MOFOR's mission in safeguarding the sovereignty of Taiwan, not only for the people of Taiwan at home and abroad, but for the belief we all have in the integrity of Taiwan's freedom. This integrity makes the goodwill of humanity possible, as is demonstrated in the earlier referenced anecdote. Taiwan is a truly people-centered democracy, which is propelled by the will of the majority of its people. Indeed, the caliber of Taiwan's democracy is demonstrated by the extent of voter engagement in national elections. There was an incredible 72% voter turnout in this year's election. Most older democracies are heartened when there is a 47% voter turnout. Taiwan's 72% voter turnout allows me to reiterate what I have been saying since I have had the responsibility of being the Dean of the Diplomatic Corps. And it is this: the diligence with which Taiwan has worked at shaping its hard-earned democracy has simply placed Taiwan at the center stage as a leading democracy in today's world. There is no voter apathy in Taiwan because the value of democracy is treasured in this country. Such a democracy has to be protected and defended because of what it represents for democratic governance systems worldwide. Therefore, having experienced the sadness and loss in our diplomatic community, which came on the heels of this January's election, we must all bear in mind the irony of these acts of attrition. Taiwan's loss of allies, designed to weaken this country, tends to result in an increase in the dedication of like-minded, friendly, democratic nations. For these nations, near and far, recognize that no country in this world would benefit from a weakened Taiwan. None, not one. Short-term, short-sighted, perceived gains very quickly evaporate. Thus, continuing to stand with the 172 out of 193 United Nations member states who maintain strategic working relationships with Taiwan is an imperative for all of us in this room. Identifying ourselves as friends of Taiwan singles us out as friends indeed, and not just allies by political constructs. Crucial times like these require definitive acts which challenge traditional notions of diplomacy that hide behind terms like interest and shy away from the word friendship. When human beings interact socially, culturally, economically, and politically in each other's countries for over 40 years, bonds of friendship are established. We must not be afraid of stating this reality and of acknowledging what this reality means to the essence of the relationships between our countries. Broken friendships damage the essence of our humanity. Broken friendships relegate our humanity to a soulless chess game of dollars without sense. MOFA Taiwan is the gatekeeper of the caliber of the relationships which we have forged with time. We must all stand with MOFA in a solid defense of our shared humanity. 谢谢。
谢谢国安局大使，请大使回座。
Thank you, Ambassador. Please be seated.
现在，让我们恭请中华民国总统蔡英文阁下致辞。
Now I would like to invite President Tsai Ing-wen to deliver her remarks.
Thank you, language. 陈建仁院长，今天的主人，我们胡昭宪部长抗议，袁家龙秘书长、顾立雄秘书长，史阶团团长，Ambassador Angela Bowen， 还有各位资政、各位部会首长，还有我们的立法委员、各位驻台使节代表、现场所有的贵宾和同仁，大家好。 的春宴都是各国贵宾和国内各界好友相互交流的盛会。那么借这个机会，我特别感谢各位使节代表长期以来对台湾的支持和协助，也谢谢现场所有的伙伴跟政府一起拼外交。那么台湾为属民主防线的最前沿，我们坚持民主自由的价值，跟全球的民主阵营密切合作，不仅致力于维持区域的和平稳定，也为全球的繁荣发展而努力。过去8年，我们积极改善基础建设，厚植国力，吸引外商投资台湾，也协助产业布局全球。相较于8年前，台湾和美国、日本、欧洲以及西南向国家的经贸往来都大幅成长。那么去年，我们也完成签署台美24级贸易倡议首批的协议，也和英国、加拿大分别签署了提升贸易伙伴关系协定以及投资促进及保障协议。我们期待未来台湾能够加入 CPTPP， 继续加强跟全球的经贸连结。除了经贸合作，我们也秉持互惠互助的精神，跟友邦和相近的国家在高科技、近邻转型以及公卫医疗等领域深化合作交流。这几年，台湾和各国携手合作对抗疫情，共同面对威权主义的扩张。我们以具体的行动展现台湾能够提供世界需要的协助，也会持续发挥我们良善的力量，跟国际社会一起来应对各项的挑战。最后，我再次感谢各位在台湾走向世界的道路上跟我们并肩同行，展现对台湾的重视和支持。今天我们一起迎接新春、新气象、新的一年，让我们彼此继续深化合作，共创更丰硕的成果。谢谢大家，谢谢。
谢谢总统，请总统留步，请吴部长及国安局大使到台上来与总统一同祝酒。
Thank you, President Tsai. Please remain on stage for a moment as we invite Minister Wu and Ambassador Bowman to join you in a toast.
祝大家在新的一年万物兴隆，好运隆中来。
The year of the dragon, may you all enjoy prosperity and good fortune. Cheers!
各位使节代表、各位贵宾、各位女士、先生，欢迎各位今晚莅临外交部113年的春宴。